prosecution actually, pero ang hirap nga isa-isa kung hindi mo pa nababasa. Pero being the daughter of Vice President, what's your thought na talagang hinaharang nila, of course, expected sa kanila, pero sobrang dami ng sinaypi ng mga reasons sa'yo, sa family, kalyado ng father ninyo, even yung mga countries na tinili po ninyo kung siya supposedly pinakontra nila. So, what's your thought on this? Without necessarily, looking into specifics of the reasons cited.
Well, kung as a lawyer, if I am to speak as a lawyer, it's all but natural for a prosecutor to oppose everything that the defense proposes. Kasi yun yung trabaho nila eh. Whether or not reasonable yun, it doesn't matter to them kasi trabaho nila ang hindi magbigay sa or magparaya sa defense team.
As a daughter?
As a daughter? Anong nararamdaman ko? Well, I am concerned as a daughter. I am concerned that he will not be granted the interim release dahil he is 80 years old. He is not in good health. He's not been eating well, and he needs support from familiar people, and he needs the care of his family and loved ones.
Ma'am, gusto sinabi niyo, sorry. Pwede pa rin daw niyang ma-threaten o mamagpili. Do you think PRR is capable of doing that?
Noong siya ay Pangulo nga, hindi nga niya trineten yung mga biktima eh. Pangulo siya noon, meron siyang power and authority. Ngayon pa na nasa loob na siya ng detention unit. And lalo na kapag nasa ibang bansa na siya, na unreachable sa kanya ang mga tao sa Pilipinas. So, it doesn't make sense to say na magkakaroon pa siya ng influence kung meron siyang interim release dahil nung nandito siya sa Pilipinas, naging mayor siya, naging president siya, at even nung natapos ang term niya, hindi niya kailanman tinanong. In fact, ako pa yung paulit-ulit na nagsabi sa kanya na maghanda ka. Si Harry Roque pa yung isang taon siyang hinabol-habol na sinabihan na maghanda ka. So he never did anything against the witnesses.
And follow-up question, Kat Tumigo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, basically, yung sinasabi lang naman po ng prosecution, they doubt that the former president will return to the court kapag nasamon siya, kapag granted siya ng interim release. First, because they claim na sinabi daw ng pamilya niyo na kinidnap siya. Yun naman talaga yung sinasabi repeatedly. Sabi ng prosecution, hindi naman babalik yung nakidnap sa kidnapper kung may chance siyang umalis na. So what guarantee can your family give to the court na yung Pangulo, yung dating Pangulo, magkikipag-cooperate pa rin siya with the ICC if he is granted an interim release?
Sorry, but I do not understand why the prosecution would oppose the petition for interim release of an accused based on the statements of family members. So, it is clear that he is in court requesting for interim release and signifying that he will comply with all the obligations. I suppose, nandoon naman na lahat yun na nakalagay. Yun yung mga obligasyon na kailangan niyang gawin, nakalagay doon sa kanyang petition. So, ibig sabihin, the accused himself submitted to the power of the courts for interim release and whatever obligations he needs to comply. No? So, kung sinasabi nila na hindi ibibigay ang interim release dahil merong mga statements ng pamilya, it doesn't fall also into the parang reasons kung bakit hindi ibibigay ang interim release. Dapat siguro ang end actions and sinasabi ng akusado. Hindi, at kung ano yung sinasabi ng country where he will be released to. Napakamali na gagamit sila ng rason para ikontrahin ang petisyon ng isang akusado base sa statements ng pamilya.
Last two questions on the topic. Aiza Domingo.
Ma'am, nasabi niyo po ngayon na ihiwalay muna natin yung statement ng family. Concentrate muna tayo din sa accused. Nagkaroon po ba ng declaration si President Duterte na siya mismo, kung magkakaroon na ng or magagrant yung interim release niya, siya mismo haharap at babalik sa ICC para harapin yung kaso niya, na hindi haharap.
Likely, ma'am, hindi ko rin binasa, hindi ko din binasa ang, kasi trabaho ng mga abogado yan, ng ICC lawyers, no? So, hindi ko din binasa yung petition niya for interim release. I scanned through it but did not really read with comprehension. So, baka nandoon yan because isa yan sa mga obligasyon ng akusado. So, imposibleng wala yan doon and imposible na hindi igarantiyan na ang bansa kung saan siya papunta dahil they are dapat ginagawa nila. So baka number one pa nga yan doon na hinihingi sa akusado at sa bansa kung saan siya papunta, na he will be available for the court at any time.
Last question, Rhea Olam.
Realistically, how do you think are your chances in securing this interim release for PRRD? Handa po ba yung pamilya nyo at sa PRRD kung sakaling mag-station yun?
Actually, kami, mga bystander lang naman kami as family members. Yung client talaga at yung lawyers niya nag-uusap at nakakaalam kung ano yung chances nila, ano yung strategy nila. So, I think it is best kung si Attorney Nicholas Kaufman ang sumagot kung ano yung chances nila for interim release. But kami, as family members, sinusuportahan namin kung ano yung napag-usapan.
Handa rin ba si PRRD?
Hindi ko pa siya natanong kung handa siya na hindi mag-grant yung interim release. And, well, sa akin lang, as a lawyer, not as a family member, as a lawyer, bakit ka pa naglagay dyan ng provision of interim release sa iyong batas kung hindi mo rin naman pala yan ibibigay sa mga akusado, lalong-lalo na sa isang akusado na 80 years old na at kailangan ng assistant at kailangan ng caregiver. So, parang napakalaking question nun. Mayroon kang provision for interim release pero hindi mo naman ibibigay sa mga accused mo. And more than that, yung tagal ba na nakadetain siya na nasa pre-trial pa lang is an injustice in itself. Kasi sa ibang bansa or dito sa atin, we have the right to bail. But doon sa ICC and sa Rome Statute, walang right ang accused to post bail. And then ngayon, meron kang interim release pero hindi mo naman ibibigay. So, parang sinasabi nila na they are for human rights and justice, and yet it is not provided for the accused.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Yung interim release, tapos posting bail yan sa atin dito sa Pilipinas. Is it safe as that?
Hindi, ma'am. Magkaiba talaga sila, ma'am. Sa bail kasi, magbabayad ka ng bond and then malaya ka na. Sa interim release kasi, wala kang babayaran, ma'am. Basta lang merong tatanggap sa iyo na bansa at magsasabi yung bansa na yes, we commit to the requirements of the court, and magsasabi yung accused na yes, I commit to the requirements of the court.
Sorry, bansa na parang, like for example, 80% sure that they're willing to accept the former president.
Ang pagkakaintindi ko doon sa sinasabi ng lawyer, sadali, ayoko magsinungaling eh. So, no comment.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
For the countries kung ilan yung pinakausap or at least ano yung status ng negotiations.
Yeah, at least figures of the countries.
Kahit hindi.
Base na lang sa base naman doon sa filing ng defense team na nakalagay naman sa website ng ICC, merong nakalagay doon na dalawa redacted, ma-clear siya. Dalawa yung nakalagay doon sa petition. So, clear yun.
Ma'am, this past few days, nakausap niyo po ba si PRRD over the phone? Ano yung huling pag-uusap niyo? Then may sinabi ba siya na baka hindi niya nakayanin sa loob na matagal sa detention center po?
Hindi ko siya nakakausap lately sa telepono dahil bumabiyahe ako tapos iba yung cellphone number na ginagamit. So alam niya yon kasi si Kitty ang nakakausap niya lagi at pinapasabi ko kay Kitty na pakisabi na ginagawa namin yung mga Free Duterte Now rallies.
Let's move on to the next topic. Red,